So I just want to start this video out by giving a huge round of applause to all the men out there. Boyfriends, husbands, side pieces or chunks, depending on your personal partner size preference, for enduring and suffering from She Made Me See It syndrome. And it takes a lot of courage and bravery to please the women of our lives. So bravo, guys, bravo. And the back, old chap. They should really make a national holiday for us, like Chick Flick Survival Day or something. What's up, guys? So today we're discussing 365 Days, or as it's originally known, 365 DNI, I believe. That is the original title for this Polish film. A little bit confusing, but we're gonna talk about it. And this review comes at the request of someone very special to me. You know who you are. And like I said earlier, the things we do for the ones we love. Stop it. Just stop it. So, and something else I want you guys to always keep in mind is that I try to keep it real with you guys. I try to give you my honest, unbiased, and constructive opinion I possibly can. Even if I don't like the movie, because I think that's important. And that's kind of what I'm all about. So 365 Days is about a man named Massimo. He is the head honcho of an Italian mafia where he kidnaps a young Polish girl named Laura who's visiting Italy and holds her hostage for 365 days. And that is the amount of time she has to fall in love with him. And if she doesn't fall in love with him by the end of the 365 days, he'll let her go. And that's the story. It's pretty thin, bare bones. It's nothing exciting for guys. And I guess that's how it should be when it comes to erotica films. I don't know, I don't watch them. Leave all that story and character development behind. This is all about the porn. So a lot of you, I am sure, are asking this one big question, and it's, is this movie similar to 50 Shades of 2 Hours of My Life I Can Never Get Back? And yes, it is. It's very similar with very minor differences. And did I enjoy this movie? Did I like it? I did not, but I am going to give you very valid reasons as to why I did it. But before I get into that side of things, let me start off by getting to what was good. So at least the main male character in this movie isn't some crazy sadomasochism practitioner. He doesn't have like a dungeon full of anal rape toys or anything like that. So that was better compared to 50 Shades of 2 Hours I'll Never Get Back in My Life Again. Because a big part of the problem with 50 Shades of 2 Hours of My Life I'll Never Get Back was when it came to the sex scenes, and it was awkward, it was uncomfortable, but they were funny and people laughed, and I'm pretty sure that was not the intention. But at least this movie in that aspect takes it a little bit more serious. Definitely not laughable, but it's still softcore porn. Also, I think they achieved what they were going for as far as lighting. They definitely established the tone and the mood when it came to those erotic scenes. And you know, they did that with those reds and blues, and it definitely felt steamy. So bravo on the lighting. And now for the bad. So for starters, this movie starts off with what appears to be a pinch of a story about mafia families at war, but it seemed like it's only really there to be exposition because it just gets taken a back seat, and we don't really see the extent of, you know, these feuding families and that whole side of things. I thought that was a bit disappointing. I thought that was the most interesting thing in this movie. They could have balanced this whole movie out had they incorporated more of those elements. I feel like this movie would have benefited more had we gotten to see what was really happening behind the scenes and between the mafia. But I don't know, maybe that's just the guy in me. And I was not buying the romance in this movie, because how do you fall in love with somebody you just seen through your car window and she didn't even see you? Like, I'm all for love at first sight, but I feel like it needs to be a mutual thing. Like, he sees her, she sees him. I mean, there's something more authentic about, you know, a couple who are both laying eyes on each other. but not how they did it in this movie. Like, I felt like it was super rushed, and it felt sloppy. Like, they could have had a way better introduction for him seeing her for the first time than what they did in this movie. Also, another thing that's going to be very controversial for a lot of people is with how this movie displays Stockholm Syndrome. Because how do you fall in love with somebody who is forcing you to fall in love with them and hold you hostage? And I didn't see anywhere in this movie where Massimo actually earns Laura's love. Like, it's all done by force. And this guy is a super narcissist with an ego so big that he could lift the Titanic from the bottom ocean floor. Like, all he does is tell her what to do, where to be, what clothes to wear. That doesn't sound like love to me. Also, if you really love someone, would you be performing sexual acts on someone else right in front of that person you claim to love? I don't think so. And I feel like this movie just sends the wrong message and is a huge slap in the face to women empowerment, because this movie just makes it seem like it's okay for men to have that control over women. And I think that's the wrong message to send, especially in the times that we live in. And I don't understand the popularity with these types of movies, especially when you have dozens of other movies out there, romantic ones, and are more ideal representations of what love and romance actually is. Like, this is not. And what happened to romantic movies like back in the 90s and early 2000s, movies like The Titanic or The Notebook? Those movies made you feel like baking brownies or taking salsa classes. Those are romantic movies. So 365 Days is only slightly better than 50 Shades of 2 Hours of My Life Lost Forever, but only slightly a little bit less cringy, but nowhere near enough to keep it from getting garbage juice. So, to be quite honest with you, I really, truly can't recommend this movie for you unless your girlfriend or your wife insist. And by insist, I mean gun pointed to your head. So if you have seen this movie, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. You can even attach the story of how you were forced to see this movie. That would probably be a lot more interesting. And here's my movie question of the week. What's your favorite romantic movie? For me, I always loved A Midnight in Paris with Owen Wilson. That is a real romantic fantasy. And also A Walk to Remember with Mandy Moore, because I always had a crush on her growing up. And it was a really, really sad movie, but a really good one.
Shut up! Shut up!
So if you guys enjoyed this review, show me some love and hit that like button. And remember, people, love is earned, not demanded. And do not forget to keep it groovy.